Yes, so Peace 104.3. And you know, pay Mama China, Mama Translate, and I'm going to say, yeah, Simon, I don't know. Crazy, a Sintimano Peme Moachun, the People's Servant, Kwame Nat Duncan, the former Central Regional Minister, former Secretary of the MPP in Central Region. Once so big guy as always.
Highly spiritual.
This can only be fate. This can only be God. I'm winning every day. Oh, because His favor is smiling on me. And when I thought of giving up, He did another miracle for me.
And those ones says, kindly wish Ya Mary of Okanshi a happy birthday for me. From Ernest Bill Smith and all your friends wishing you Ya Mary of Okanshi a happy birthday.
Day by day, everywhere I go.
A belated one to you, Kokrokoo Prince Odro, aka Kobe K of Jubilee House.
Night by night,
From the entire Odro family.
everywhere I
Your brother, your partner in crime, Isaac Odro Bob G.
go, I see
Peter Squire and myself to you. Kokrokoo Prince Odro.
your favor. Monday to Sunday,
Does us to wish you Bismarck Ofori in Italy a happy birthday.
favor follow me everywhere.
From your friend Charles in Sierra, wishing you well Bismarck Ofori on the occasion of your birthday.
Favor follow me everywhere. Follow me everywhere.
Those one says, please, a birthday request to my niece, Mrs. Augustina Osei of Ghana Gas. So, Mrs. Augustina Osei of Ghana Gas, a happy birthday to you from Kofi Nyako Osei.
Too many blessings you shower me every day, giving me things I don't deserve, and the ones I've never prayed for. All I can say is this can only be God. He can body chuckle.
And this one is to wish you Elizabeth Osei Kisi.
This can only be faith.
Elizabeth Osei Kisi, you are in Tadi this morning. Happy birthday to you from Seth. Kofi Osei Kisi, Ga East Nadmo director to you. And Nemi Brenisha. Medical catch or somebody, Dr. Gorman Betrichin, come on.
You shower me
Dr. Gorman is a cardiologist
with your favor.
and a cardiovascular disease specialist.
I have seen you.
Currently at Luca Health Medical Specialty Center. Meneno Babon Commando Pay.
Oh, everywhere I go, I see your favor.
And from my boss, lawyer Chinebu Akodia, lawyer TK to you. Mrs. Vivian Osei to
His favor.
Senior State Attorney at AG's Department. Mrs. Vivian Osei to you. Happy birthday to you from lawyer Chinebu Akodia TK. Praying for God's blessings, protection, and guidance upon your life. Enjoy the day.
Follow me everywhere. Follow me everywhere.
And Timoma Mene Dr. Gorman Kotrochin Komo you are now for the Academy Yasan Ede Atuaso. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, sir.
Good to see you as always.
Thank you for having me back. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Oh, by the grace of God, fine.
Thank you.
Very fine. You look so fresh this morning.
Thank you, sir. Feel fresh.
Yeah, sure. So, Doc, we were here the other time. We spoke about heart conditions and anything that had to do with the heart. I'd like you to tell us this morning anything we need to know about the heart condition, so that we may be careful about how we live.
Yes, sir. Well, this morning I'm going to talk about heart health. And when we talk about a healthy heart, we're talking about a muscle. As I mentioned before, the heart muscle pumps approximately 100,000 times per day. And in a given lifetime, an average lifetime, that's about 3 billion times it's going to pump. So essentially, one of our goals is to make this organ, or keep this organ, as efficient and pumping as possible. And there are a number of things that we can do as individuals to help with that. And as I mentioned before, one of the things that we can do is we can maintain our blood pressure and keep a healthy blood pressure. Again, we like to keep that number below 120/70 in most cases. But in addition to blood pressure, we like to maintain a healthy weight too, because that can increase your risk for heart disease.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So those are two of the things, but there are a number of other things that we can also try to modify.
I see. So is it possible for a person to eat healthy, exercise regularly, and still have condition of the heart?
Yes, sir, it is possible. Unfortunately, we see that there are genetic components that can lead to heart disease, a number of genetic components. So despite the fact that you exercise and you eat correctly, you can have a predisposing reason to have a heart problem, and that could be genetic.
Tell me more about the genetic part.
Okay. Well, genetic problems can run in families. There's a number of genetic issues that we can see, from electrical problems that can lead to electrical problems of the heart to a structural issue of the heart. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we don't see these problems until they present themselves, either as sudden cardiac death or a heart attack or to that effect. So unless it's tested or a good thorough history, a lot of times you don't know that's at present.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's dangerous.
I'm sorry?
I said then it appears dangerous.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So, does gender play a role in heart conditions?
Yes, gender does play a role. Specifically, it's mainly with age. Men typically have an increased risk of heart disease before the age of 50, and usually after 50 or 60, the women starts to catch up with respect to heart disease. And nobody really knows why. However, there is some data that says that hormones may play a role in increasing the risk for women after the age of 60. But early in life, men have an increased risk compared to women.
So ordinarily, we are likely to have more men suffering from heart condition as compared to their women counterpart.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's bring it home to Luca Health. For people seeking care for any cardiovascular disease, what should they know about the cardiology services at Luca Health?
Okay. As the cardiologist at Luca Health, I have an extensive experience in managing cardiovascular disease. And when I see patients, I perform a comprehensive and thorough physical exam and also history. And based on what I find, I can make decisions as far as management is concerned. And we will offer state-of-the-art type of management there, i.e. Stress test, echocardiograms. This is a test where we use ultrasound to look at the heart muscle and also the valves of the heart. But in addition to that, we can do what's called Holter monitoring. That's a test where we can monitor a heart rhythm on a regular basis. In addition to that, we also will be offering CCTA, and that's a CT scan of the heart arteries where we can actually look to see if there's blockages in the arteries of the heart. We can also see whether or not there are structural problems of the heart, such as if the valves or if the arteries come off on an abnormal angle. We can actually see that from the outside. So those are some of the tools that we can offer or will be offering at Luca Health.
Now, I'm interested in the blockage of the arteries. Are there things that are to be corrected? Can they be corrected if they say you have a blockade in the arteries?
I didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry. Say again, sir.
I'm asking whether if you perform all these tests and realize that some of the arteries are blocked.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that can be corrected?
Yes, and it all depends on the severity of it. When we talk about blockages, we assess how severe it is, whether it's mild, moderate, or severe. And in addition to that, the location of the blockage.
Okay.
So depending on where it's located and the severity of it, there are things you can do. Typically, medicine does not cause a blockage to go away. Sometimes it can help slow it down. But in order to fix a blockage, you have to either place a stent, which is like a scaffold, or in another case, you may have to have bypass surgery. So those are ways to fix blockages in the arteries. And again, it all depends on the severity of it, the symptoms, and the location of the blockage.
I see. For those of us who are so naive to these treatment and stuff like that, we are told that BP is not treatable. It's just manageable until you leave this earth. Please tell us, you are the expert.
Okay.
How true is that statement?
Yeah. Well, blood pressure can be managed and treated. And when I say that, the goal is to try and keep it as low as possible, as long as you're not having symptoms. And a lot of times I'm asked, so how low should my blood pressure be? And I tell a patient as low as it can be, as long as you're not having symptoms of lightheaded or dizziness. So most of the patients who are on blood pressure medications, unfortunately, a significant number of them have to stay on blood pressure medication for life. I have to admit that. However, it can be managed. And I've seen some cases where patients will come off blood pressure medication, but again, it's individualized. For instance, if they lose weight and if they do other lifestyle modification measures, I've seen patients come off the blood pressure medication.
So for our listeners this morning with heart conditions, what will be your advice to them on how especially to manage their condition effectively? And if they should come looking for you at Luca Health, what are they expecting?
Okay. Well, first of all, with respect to manage your blood pressure, your heart condition, I would recommend that you maintain a proper blood pressure. And again, we like to see that pressure less than 120/80. In addition, if you smoke, we recommend that you stop smoking. If you exercise at least about 150 minutes per week, moderate exercise. Also, watch your weight, as I mentioned before. And also watch what you eat. We recommend that you eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grain, and things like that. So those are things that we can do to manage our heart condition and to keep the heart healthy. With respect to finding me at Luca Health, I'm located at 27 Mazaroux Road in East Legon. The phone number is 054-412-0777.
Now, Doc, we are told that blood pressure, for instance, is very prevalent in Africa, and it appears to be an African disease. Tell me, you have practiced elsewhere, and you know how it is. So tell us about that.
That is correct. Blood pressure and heart problems is prevalent in African Americans and also in Africa. And again, we don't know the exact cause of it. There are some theories that say, well, it is genetic. Most of it is genetic. But again, salt and just genetic plays a big role, and lifestyle habits as well. So I've seen in my practice, African Americans and Africans have increased risk of heart disease and also blood pressure. Genetics plays a significant role, and also our lifestyle. I have to admit that our lifestyle plays a significant role in this respect that I don't see as much smoking here as I did back in the U.S., but smoking is a risk factor. Obesity is a risk factor, family history, and diabetes, and lack of exercise. However, we're seeing a lot of young people now not exercising as much as they used to, so that increases the risk as well.
I see. Now, before I take leave of you, I just want to give you two examples so you tell us what could possibly have gone wrong. One, a footballer dying on the football pitch.
Yes, sir.
Was playing. If you watched the recently ended Euro 2020, Christian Eriksen, he suffered cardiac arrest on the field.
Right.
So if exercise, dieting, are enough to check the heart, why all these things?
Right, that's a good question, and unfortunately when it happens it's devastating because it's young people, and we had the same issue in the States as well. A lot of times we don't know until an autopsy is done, but most of the times it usually falls into one of three categories. Something that we call either electrical problem with the heart, a structural problem with the heart, or an acquired problem with the heart. Electrical problems is when you have an abnormal heartbeat or something causing the rhythm to go astray in the heart, and that can cause the heart to stop. So we see that. A structural problem of the heart is inside of the heart we have valves and we have muscles. The heart is a muscle, as I mentioned. Sometimes the muscle can become thick or the valves don't open as wide as they should, and you have obstruction of flow. And that can cause a young person or an older person, to die suddenly. And then the last one is the acquired. That's things like infection or trauma. We've seen patients where they can have trauma to the chest, and it all depends on the cycle that the heart is going through. If that trauma occurs unfortunately at a bad time, that can cause the heart to stop. And you can see that in footballers. We've seen it in basketballers and young people. So usually those are the three causes in most cases. But a lot of times we don't know until an autopsy is done. But as you mentioned, it's devastating because most of the time it's a young person that it occurs in.
Doc, your final words to our listeners this morning.
My final word again is to maintain a healthy heart, do the right things, monitor your blood pressure, monitor your weight, exercise, don't smoke, and see your healthcare provider. And come see me if there's a question. Again, I'm at Luca Health. We'll be more than happy to see you and take care of you and provide a comprehensive and thorough exam and perform the studies we need to do. Thank you.
I see. What's your contact again?
The contact is 054-412-0777. That's the phone number. And the address is 27 Mazaru Road, East Lagoon.
Thank you for your time with us this morning, Dr. Gorman. We hope to have you back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Gorman, Oyobia Unim Akuma Huejuma. Na waredare akuma ene ho yare hu ye no ena yen no bon komo ena no pay efa yarwa hodo a ebetimi aka akuma no ene sene a esi eye adwuma fa oye adwuma ewo Luca Health and Medical Specialty Center eno ewo East Legon se unim East Legon na kira kwan ena okire ede ema yen no Lancet Laboratory for no enchen hwa ena omo ewo Luca Health Medical Specialty Center ehona Dr. Gorman ewa anopei yene no abon komo. This one so wish you Vida Osafo Buensi of Ghanaian Times. Kokrokoo, happy birthday from Nana Kwame to you. And this is an appreciation to you, Samuel Asamoah of Children's Hospital. The message is simple. God bless you, Mr. Samuel Asamoah. From Mr. and Mrs. Odro to you, Mr. Samuel Asamoah. You are so good to us. We are so grateful to you, Doc. Because whom says here every weekend the MP before Guam when Masikeke. And also wish you Samuel Kobina Amwako, Okankwe North Municipal Director of NADMO. You're also the Okankwe North Constituency Organizer of the MPP. Happy birthday to you from Kofigo. And to you, my big old man, Dr. Amwako of Abinwaha. And to you, Komodo Pumpuni, Chief Obanwanya Nadi, and Jadien de Jaina Nabaso. So, Komodo Pumpuni, Chief Arope Moachawati. Obana Nasamunye. Eye bibi, yasi eye o. Eye keke. Eye ase. Eye bibi for. Mo weni wu papa. Na parliamentary primaries go mo be any time be. Parliamentary primaries mo be any time be. 2023 one and 24 baby. Happy. Reverend Father Emmanuel Kujo, the parish priest St. James Parish in Osu, and to my brother and friend, Reverend Father Hilary Agbenosi. Reverend Father Francis Nao Boafo. I don't pay me watching you, Father Nao. And to my parish priest, Reverend Father Michael Osofori. And to your able to IC, Reverend Father Emmanuel Boateng. May test the line between the Marcos humans and my best spouse. Justice a shame. Also, Auntie Dr. Goman has some kind of back. But you'll go back, Nakobo. Obeti. I'm quite Jesse, your name was senior web pre mantemo. Mamen kona mene Jesse in Kokrokoo in Komona, they see ye I was whom now cherry and on pese men no ebo home commands. Yes, imagine.
Bejusu Accra.
Now, Pom to say.
Yankopo Adaroma, number Jones.
Yankopo Adom Boko. Yeah, you want can hire any soon and run out you pictures and videos be was social media a year say I say a MPP chita for and omocha omo aircon and the idea natures a picture and be crab open be and till one pie. Yes, I know so AC was our program na say fact I no pay the bonkra no a movie at the home asem aba. Oshe Kata said the inquisitor or say Suhum MP's driver butchers MPP communicators Eno the Inquisitor Edeba Anope. Supreme newspaper, MPP supporters clash at funeral. 2 injured. MP's driver slashes man's head. Hey, Allah. Supreme, no. The others slashes pa, but with the next are not thing. I think publisher, and I said, Obaka ba could be so who ya no pay, and so it can be at the FSA some no Ghanaian publisher or say, okay, and you know, Ghanaian publisher. Host of other papers are already South whom issue no buy. Racho. At the end, is see boy, come on.
You Accra, Major Soba, a few months, a home. Then, okay, Saturday, and a branch of a queer friend or Parry Daniel, or a MPP communication team member, Emma MPP for a Suhumante Muhanum. Now, ni papa, I friend of Penny, a team of Parry. I do not have friend a just aqua, a free moon. Now, remember a train, and I or penny papa, a cheap crabby, crack. The moon Adolfo, I MPP communication team for I be free or down as a man can say, Kokrokoo, and in Coco, yes, only papa if you mudia, on my bonnet chidome, a Saturday, Nanka, Eja, Homomboana, one so, any nipa. And see communication team members see the go yes pa bebre na openi bia ofi MPP mo bia no communication team members no omo leaders ni di openi nani na we lead on atia ewo eyi na se na openi ba ko ba ya ye friend no Frankie du be dodo na ta friend no Prontosua eba oba no communication team members ni di nani echacha no koji na konya emu a na Suhum MP incumbent MP honorable Oboafo Kojo Asante ono so ni chita for eba na mra oba no na abrantie ba kwa ye frɛ no Opare Daniel ono ono na ni papa free no ekɔ signal MPP communication team member ba kwa ye frɛ no Alexander Odey baby dodo na friend big deal every say no kura maika openi bia ba onanso ma okodi nani so ka share so MP ba enti om kwaji hintata embra no mbra mbentia aweyi na se no mo fa on seat no emra branti tu anamon se okọ MP ho akwaji hintata abetina eyi na se ajintia no na MP ni driver ekata ni se MP obey ono so wechitafo enu nti mo ba mo kwan yenso ya ba yen kwan ba betia etimi fira mo se mo mache awia mo ma yen kwan na yenso yembra ni yembetia ni hwehwe mu tire se emra ono Alexander Odey efi MP ka no ho a okwaje mic no si enuano adofo no ma mo eyi ase o say ye communication team members ene ye waha na ya beji enti ewi na emom ye kwaje ye honorable MP eyo Oboafo Kojo Asante tata so metia no ono se ne driver se one ne chita for na enti o ma ye lidia metia no enti ye ba ha ye ba be sere kwan enu na ye maame a o ye MPP women organizer dodo na friend no Antiana na Santwa o ka se abranche wan ka se ye kra every so yes ugu MP enima se enu mu no meti mu hase kakra apie kakra ene se emu ba ko ekotwe sekan eba ya onyenne a ekoso eyi na se no ofa paweni behwe enya asem ketwa na abranche ba ko a over 51 years I from Akwesi Amweni ono communication team member ewa Asaman Kese ento kwane koso no ebi so so wenti oba be pata ene so be hia na kwanhia dadia ekura MP driver no ode pa ni team sepu oka ho anipa miensa ene pra ya ono ne de na na so pa ntemu no penifo rase ede ne course un government hospital emergency ward ama ene prepare de omutima hwe no ama okọ ne kromo Asaman Kese na kra ne etie ne se asemo ibae no MPP penifo ekọ report to police me hwe se me police report ne echi enano pay o ma frame se membra no mo so nsem bi o mo ekafa Saturday ni sie no so omambo mayamane na update kakra anu pay me saka ne se ebusuafo a omo musi won de hye eye openye etiemo pare aka eja sankwano abusuafo ise omoji won sika because ye ba eka abefi enti won sika e no omoji and say MPP for fi ho anka mo pod mo ba ala be support yen say de be ya de nyina ye be kra yen papa ti afa de mo ba ya ma ba betu ye ye ase enti abusuafo so ni me akasa no pay say eka o ma bo eye ene Monday di ni nyina eswa operate Daniel no efi say nye namba amane nso amba ono da kofa ni MPP for be program ase a etu eye ase eye age no ho ase asem kra nti omo de wo di wo fika ewo ono operate Daniel no nsem nti asem esi ya akra obisa me de no kre to do
enema mienu na me pese me hu time a abrante no ekokofa microphone na wo se MPC ma obi ani na chiu se den no na wase we also supporters wa ha MPC was supporters menti ase o munyina nya MPP for enchiche mu no free hin na ba na den abrante no kofa mic se MPC one grassroots for nchia ene ho na me pesa meti ona se anzana issues awo ma bisa
nana no pre na say nsu attention kakra wa ha eba MPP for no am say onyonyam ne ye frɛ no Frankesi Dube Queen dodo na friend proposal no epese that be mase beja akonya no ono so timi efro nti oye ne obeye nyina wo so kromu ha said de beya 2024 no obeyi na ni mepie aba begina for mase beja akonya no e wo so mu no na enum na ama MPP mu ache kakra e wo so mu ha se etita for no kakra na 2020 omu pushi oboafo koda sante mande bae no fa kakra akwakodu Frankesi Dube Queen eye proposal nechi ano na akwakofa amane weye aba na enyumre Saturday na enyumre emra na abo no 9 enyumre no 9 no ena na MP ne eba aba betia ewe eyi na se mini MP no etita for ne kasa kire me say omuko eyi ba ko 9 enti na eyi na ewo suhum council no adia sakakra ntibe no 9 ho na omu ankonkwa kopi akotia ebusuafo ne adofo ma ba betena ho na enum na abranti kofa mic no ekoye announcement say MP chita for say omo ma ba betia deda ntebe ya wonfi dwabo na se na MP so embra no ombetia na mra communication na akoso na abranti proposal eye Frankesi Dube Queen suti beja na se nti akoye say MP incumbent MP echita for omoba and the proposal and so communication team and normative and a year mammy team what we na anko ye ama a family nina you name when a buy
anti MPP suhomo a muache between MP Koja Sante and a protozoa yes sir
pepe nana
what yet ye mono crouch no odi kan kofa mic no no wo hwan achi
mi tete mu kachi na onu edi kan kofa mic no aye Alexander Odey big deal no onu a communication team member na so hwe utie ne kasa mu anu enra me ne no ko kasa utie ne kasa mu a onu wo esi Dube Queen no achi oye ne chita nipa omu frɛ radio ni ade a omo eboni din se yenhwe nanim no de niamapa eba suhu enti ne kasa mu nyina akere se some of the communication team members ni bi mo no etai ono Frankesi Dube Queen proposal ni pai
I see and a women organizer no so ono so tisi mu sen
women organizer no emra eye Alexander Odoi no kofa Mike no say on also say omu fi dwabo na se efi say MP ni na chita for eba no and ono ekoka kire eye Alexander Odey no big deal ni say okasa de wan kasa yi efi say o yesa nipa awoko eti dwabo na se nyina be hu say party yemu ache anu ti ogu MP enimate efi say ono so no ka MP hu ena na eba enti ho na ekofa ntokwa ne bae na yehwehwe mu tere se opia no fi mic ne ti no no je mic no se busuafo yesere mu enye sa na MP chita for ekatre eye big deal yi enti MP no brasim pese oba betia na opia ni ntino Alexander Odwe ni so ante ne ho ase ono so pese o kire ni mema sem na ono akoye oba ni nti na nipa pu bebreba ya Mr. Mekao kwesi amuani a ono so eba be patanto kwa eno so be hia na kwanhia wo kwa deboyi afi
anyway mate enti say simple say ya se kantwe no so eno so firi hin na bam de ben
ya ni hwemu kire se kantwe no MP driver ena ekotwe fi car mu ena ode bebo kwesi amuani tim amani tim chair no because ebufo no ba ya ama na wontimi control ho to wura car mu no ena okotwe sekan no
MP driver okotwe fi car bem ho akam
enya MP car mu okotwe fi na mu MP ba no party car se di nechi emu ba ko ena okotwe sekan ni fi
osi abusuafo no se omaboka enti omo koji scanner free MPP for no
omo kan specific omo scanner free MPP for no omo say omo DFI operator Daniel na oye MPP communication team member ono na ni papa free mu anka o kra ni papa no enu mu na ma MPP for iba ya onye le nyina si enti omo di wo sika nyina fi operator Daniel ho
omo timi che osika do omo pe
na omo man tell me sika do omo aboka e ka na e bai na omo man tell me na mo anopai omo den se omo be nsem trofo nhia nti na ebe pia bebia nana me mfa nka me ho
abusuan be nsem trofo nhia mu
no kre nana
mate yebeja ha jesi yamankwa yaman bofo wo epuye mantem mu na de siye na otwe yewe ewusuhum na ode ho asem abreye no na yebekwa ba na afei nkomo na aka ni nyina nso yede aba betwa so ede amamo cause ene yebegina suhum nkomo ho pa badansa ne yebefa sports no belated one to you Mr. Kokrokoo Sasa Johnson Men's Fellowship Chairman Emmanuel Methodist Church Airport East Circuit Brand ene Men's Fellowship nyina se Kokrokoo Sasa Johnson omo Emma belated happy birthday and afi Karina Konedu ejekum adomako Karina Konedu ejekum adomako o mame ene o papa Mr. and Mrs. ejekum adomako se omo Emma utrinkwa wawoda entity no so omo Emma utrinkwa ewo ho MPP4 yes ebende